Next, we want to format the form. We want to move around our controls in this window. Our labels are over here, where it says Social Security number, etc. And these white boxes are our entry boxes. What I want to do is change views, and again, I'm going to change to design view to make adjustments to this form. First of all, I just want to select all of my labels, and notice I'm just kind of drawing a box around them. And if we go up here to our Form Design Tools tabs, you can see we have different options here to choose from. And under Format, I have one that allows me to right align all my labels so they're nice and tight up against my entry boxes. I want to change the color so they stick out a little more. Maybe I'll make them all bold. While they're all selected, I'm just going to grab one sizing handle to shrink them down so they take up less space. I could shrink them down individually some more if I wanted to. The other thing we want to look at is we want to maybe look at these entry boxes and the sizes that they take up. They did a pretty good job when we created our field sizes and transferring over to the form, but a few adjustments we can still make, such as major. We know majors only has 3 characters, so I'm going to shrink this entry box down a little bit. And everything else I'm going to leave alone for now. Next, what I want to do is move some of these controls around. If I want to move both the label and the entry box together, I can just click on either part and notice they move together. So if I move first name over here and last name still underneath first name, you can see how they move. I'll put city over here, state underneath it. Maybe I want zip code over here and address up here and phone number down here. So you can see I can move everything around that way. Major I'm going to put over here, and if I wanted to make the label appear on top of the entry box, I can point to the upper left corner of either and move it. So I'm going to take the major label and put it right above, and I can widen this out a little bit, and I'll center it within the box. Now when I deselect it and click back on either part of the major, they still move together. So I'll move gender over here, birth date maybe over here, credits and quality points, I'll move them together. And that's how we move our labels and our entry boxes within the form area. I said earlier that I want to clean up the name too, so I'm going to click over here on my name and move this up a bit. And also I want to make the size a little bit bigger so it sticks out. And maybe I'll make my name red too. The other things you can do to this form are we can add buttons. So without actually having any buttons on the form, it doesn't really allow the user to do anything to it. So I'm going to go to Design, and back here under Controls, we have this button right here, which is our Command button. If I click on it, all I have to do is draw a box right in my form, and it kicks me into a wizard. So let's say I want to choose Delete Record. So I'm going to go to Record Operations, Delete Record, and hit Next. Either put a picture on it, or I can put the words on it. I'm going to put the words Delete Record on it. I'm going to say Next. I have to give it a name here, and say Finish. And that's how you create a button on your form. Now if I go to View and go to Form View, you can see now what our form actually looks like. So our drop down arrow, pretty cool. Hit the Delete Record button. It asks me, do I really want to delete? And at this point I'll say no. So now we've created a form and we've edited it to make it look a bit nicer.